Hey, folks, the NIST Cybersecurity Framework 2.0 came out in this past month. And the new function, governance, I'm excited about this one because if you have seen any of my videos previously, you know that I'm all about cybersecurity risk. But not only that, a cybersecurity risk that builds your program with a mission focus. So cyber risk program that is mission focused for the organization. And I'll break down the governance function sentence by sentence, and we're going to chat a little bit about this. Every organization have high, medium, and low systems. Every organization have productions, development environment, test environment, QA environment, so on and so forth. And if you're only going to protect your organization, all high systems it is and how high systems it are, that is the problem with that is not every high system is important to the mission of the organization. And with the NIST Cybersecurity Framework 2.0, you will have to rethink that exactly approach of how you are defining the criticality of your systems. Not every high system has the same value to the organization. Once again, those systems that protect the mission, the vision, and the products and services that you provide to your customers and shareholders, those that support the corporate objective of your organization, those, among all the highs, should be on the top of your list. So the governance, the standard or the framework says governance is the organization's cybersecurity risk management strategy. Expectations and policy are established, communicated, and monitored. Now, if you didn't have a cybersecurity strategy documented at a policy level, you will need to tweak your policy to ensure that your program is risk-based. That is a very broad and a nebulous statement. But as you start creating the standard and the procedures, it gets a little bit more, clear of what you're trying to do. And that's where you're going to focus on systems that are protecting the mission of your organization. So having those in place, if you haven't that, make sure you create that policy and then you create the other lower level documents. Perhaps you don't have that because you're relying on your enterprise risk management group to do that. But cybersecurity is a separate entity that feeds into that enterprise program. The other sentence here, the govern function provides outcomes to inform what organizations may do to achieve and prioritize the outcome of the other 5 functions in the context of its mission, stakeholder expectations. So the governance sets the stage. What are the critical, what those that support the mission, the organization, and the expectation of stakeholders. So when you're doing the identify, you will do based on what your risk program, the govern function, had established. And the governance will establish the methodology on how to identify those that support the mission of the organization, the stakeholders' expectations. So then you identify those, your protect will protect those, your detect will detect the potential compromise those, and the respond will respond to any compromised system, and the recover will actually recover the systems if any compromise may have happened to those systems. Now, that doesn't mean everything else is unimportant. No, that means the priority and what the majority of your attention and finance and resources will go first, and then everything else. So governance activities are critical for incorporating cybersecurity into organizations' broad enterprise risk management strategy. Absolutely. As I alluded earlier, you need to have your cybersecurity risk program that feeds into the enterprise risk management program, because the ERM group are concerned with the finance impact to the organization, the operational impact to the organization, and also the reputational impact to the organization. And a cybersecurity event will hit all three. You have a financial impact to the organization. Most definitely will have a reputational impact to the organization because you will see your company in the news, at least the local news. And you will have definitely an impact in the operational effectiveness of your organization because you're not going to be able to provide the products and services that you provide to your customers and shareholders. Then, Govern addresses an understanding of organizational context, the establishment of cybersecurity strategy and cybersecurity supply chain risk management, roles, responsibility, and authorities, policy, and the oversight of cybersecurity strategy. All of that will be part of your governance strategy. The govern now a full-fledged function, not one of those intertwined elements of the function, but a full-fledged function itself. Not only a full-fledged function, is your first function that will dictate and establish how you will protect the organization from now on down the stream. You start with that. You start the roles, responsibilities, and authorities. Who has authority to govern cybersecurity in your organization? Is your CSO, someone else. You will establish that the context of the organization and the products and services that you provide for your customers and shareholders. And the policy, establishing the policy of the organization, the cybersecurity risk program should be established at the policy level, and then you develop those standards. So, very exciting news, very exciting changes. And as I said earlier, if you have seen any of my videos, I've been saying this for the longest time, and I'm happy to see that NIST caught up with this new revision. So I will have more talks in how this will impact training. Hey, now we have to train a little bit different. And that affects patching, that affects identifying risks, identifying how you protect, what mechanisms you put protect. I mean, it will affect training. But how? How companies will address that? We'll chat this a little bit later.